really relieved action heroes. They're really relieved action heroes. They almost died. Defeat was nigh, but they made it. They're really relieved action heroes.
So, the title of the show, I was part of in developing it, Really Relieved Action Heroes. I am really relieved today. I totally almost died.
Okay. So there we were, and Tarantula Face had covered the entire city hall in grease. It's pretty gross. Most of the time you just call in a cleanup unit, but he was still there, so they called us.
I'm part of the action squad. I'm a newer member, and I've worked in a couple other squads. A lot of fighting. I'm a good fighter. Actually, one of the more experienced members. They've recruited me. I had my resume up on Monster for a while.
There was a monster, standard fare. No frickin' secret why there's an A on my chest. An awesome frog was frickin' awesome.
When we arrived, Awesome Frog was swimming around in a puddle alone. Actually, it was with a bunch of tadpoles.
There's this, seven-eyed monster in a dress. Totally kicked his ass. Totally was like, wah! You know what? Bam! Huzzah! Cha! It's like a virtuoso performer. You don't really remember it. You don't think about it. You just go out and do it. You just do it.
We didn't really get him. We kind of, there was 50 or 60 innocent citizens kind of in the way.
He had actually gone up to the top and covered everything in grease. We came in with a bunch of cat litter and covered the entire theater in cat litter, and it was awesome.
They said, hey, we're really looking for a girl that looks good in a costume. And I was like, well, I have a costume and I'm a girl and I can fight. And they said, well, yeah, that's secondary. And I was like, oh, well, what's the pay? And they gave me the salary. And I was like, well, okay, I'll try it.
The rest of us went up to the tarantula-eyed monster and spoke in a very clear and very stern voice. Here, I'll give it to you. Excuse me, sir. I don't think you're supposed to use the bathroom here. You can't sleep here. See, I worked at a library once.
I did the frickin' work. You don't talk to a 90-eyed monster. You kick his ass. You kick it right down the damn street. You go out and you rock him.
I was a desk clerk. I always wanted to be a security guard, but I kept on failing the test.
The old gorilla was talking really loudly to a bunch of people, and he kind of wasn't paying attention to the whole grease fire. Awesome Frog was swimming around, and he kept doing dives, and it kept knocking people into the grease fire. There was a lot of screaming and burning, and a lot of, oh, my babies! And, yeah, it's a little harder to sleep at night, but, my 401k is great now.
My father had Alzheimer's, his father's father. I think that my mother had Alzheimer's. Her mother was always trying to bake rocks. I never really understood that.
There's groupies who follow us around, pretending to be us, pretending to do things.
So yeah, we totally rocked today. There was this big monster, and I think he had 50 toes. Yeah, he had 50 toes. There was some big mess marshmallow. Yeah, there was marshmallows everywhere.
He thinks he's an action hero.
And it was I pretty much took over everything, and
I've saved that kid's ass so many times. So many times.
Just rocked, pretty much, yeah. And I just got these new arm cuffs. Yeah, they might look like tinfoil to you, but it's really this new type of steel that you don't know about, because you're not all in the industry and whatever.
How did he get in here?
And I also have this super special belt that really helps me in order to keep my focus during the crime fighting and superhero saving and all that stuff.
Billy, Jimmy, PA, whatever your name is. Listen, if you see a guy in a Shriner's cap and a little bitty mustache or whatever he's got, you tell him he is not a superhero. Alright? He's not an action hero. He cannot be relieved except if he relieves himself in his pants. That's it.
I wonder if my resume's still on Monster.